thought about the lives of the vulnerable groups post this COVID situation, marked by several lockdowns, loss of jobs, economic downfall, lack of peace of mind. So nothing has been potentially developmental except for our zeal to survive. So for survival, people are enhancing, strengthening their immunity, their lifestyles. So there has been various transformation. But for the vulnerable groups, transformation is seen on the roads where they are walking long distances to go back to their homes. They all had traveled to the big cities in search of jobs. And finding job is not easy for these vulnerable groups. We all know that the impetus to enhance one's livelihood is innate, it's intrinsic. We all want to enhance our livelihoods, and therefore we migrate to various places. But for most of the educated people, migration is safe. The vulnerable usually fall prey of human trafficking. They have to survive worse conditions and secure their lives. They cannot think of leading a dignified life because they come from the poor section of the society. And therefore, when people are holding hands during this COVID situation, it is very important for us to reflect about what the lives of these vulnerable groups will become post-COVID. It is not that they have been displaced from their workplace, from the urban towns, then quarantined, and then again put back to their rural houses, and then again they're traveling back to their urban cities, towns to get livelihoods. It's not just the transportation, the movement, the displacement that's occurring. It's about the means, the dynamics in which they are going, because there is a very thin line between safe and unsafe migration. Child marriages will increase drastically. These vulnerable groups who actually have a sardar or dalal, the middleman in between, and they usually pay them to get a job. So a poor man will pay, suppose, 1,000 rupees to the dalal and leave his family all alone and move to get some money in the urban city, in the town, in the ULB. So the family is all alone in the village, and the dalal has all eyes on that particular family. So the family is victimized, and so is the life of the migrant labor. We need to understand the pressure these migrant laborers are facing. When they take their entire family to the big town, they have to arrange for everything. Even then, the women, the female counterparts, are usually vulnerable. So either in the village or in the towns, cities, the lives of these poor women is vulnerable. I might not say that poor women, but I'm not talking about the strength of women. I'm talking about the economic condition of these women. So because their economic condition is poor, they become very susceptible to various kinds of prejudices, violence, and many other things that occur. Child marriage, child trafficking, rape, many things are there which they have to face. And therefore, it is very important for us to understand the dynamics of human trafficking. We need to understand that these migrant laborers have become all the more vulnerable after they have lost their jobs. They require their jobs anyhow, and for that they have to pay a huge amount. We have to know that preparedness is very much important, because what has happened post COVID is that their pains have been masked like this. So we are now going to combat human trafficking in a more masked form, and therefore it will be very difficult for us to find out the victims, and the victims would not understand the pain they are suffering, because for them their mere earnings is more than their sufferings. They want to survive, and therefore it is very important for us to be prepared, to have participation, to have a perspective, to have a plan or policy, and to have perseverance. Then only we can protect these vulnerable groups to lead a dignified life. We all must understand that post-COVID, the lives of the vulnerable groups is going to turn up worse, and so is the evils. And therefore, we need to understand what human trafficking is, what child marriage is, what various forms of violence are, and therefore we need to be prepared for them, and we need to fight for them. We need to fight against them. A lot of peace building requires to be done in the society. We know the earth will heal, but healing requires a lot of patience, a lot of hard work. And as a citizen, it is important for us to move towards it, move towards development, to pledge that we will fight against such evils post-COVID. We will not just strengthen our minds and body, we will strengthen the society, we will eliminate the evils, and therefore we all have to be very alert. Stay alert, stay safe, and be ready for the masked enemy that will be around you. You need to know how to recognize it and how to end it. Nip it at its bud. It's very important. And for that, we should be all ready. Jai Hind.